What's the new story you're going to tell yourself? What's up? It's Rob Cressy, and on my mind right now is about the creation of whatever it is that we have in our mind for our vision. And it starts with the story we tell ourselves, the story of what we're creating. So, what I want to do today is share a few insights of some things that I am learning and going through in real time as it relates to the new story that I am telling myself and how that can help you create a new story for yourself. So, this morning, about an hour ago, I'm doing a 20-minute Peloton ride with Olivia, and going into it, my mindset was, all right, because I'm only doing 20 minutes, I am going to try and set a new personal best. So boom, that's a story I'm telling myself going in. And when the ride first started, there's like a little metric that shows you where you are in comparison to your personal best. And I know from having created several personal bests that at the beginning, you're behind pace because it sort of averages out your number. And while that's going on at the beginning, I'm behind by like 11 or 12 or 13. And in the back of my mind is that doubt of being like, oh, I wonder if this isn't the ride that I thought that I'm going to be hitting my personal best. So boom, I put that little metric away and I keep grinding and doing my thing. Check in halfway and I'm like 8 or 9 or 10 away. I'm like, all right, well, still a little bit out. And then I look and there's like 6 minutes left and I am only 8 units away from being on the pace of my personal best. I was like, boom, let's go. It's on. And I flipped the switch. And the story that I told myself in my mind is I am going to set my personal best. And for this, number one, I started with that intention. Number two, there was some doubt along the way. Number three, boom, I set my target in this, and then I made it happen. And one of the things that I love about Peloton is the instructors and the motivation and the inspiration that they give. It's just so good. I love it just coursing through me because it creates who I am. And there's two things that Olivia said that inspired me to, one, create my personal best, but two, to create a new story for myself. And what she said is, shift your perspective into a great you. And immediately I thought about the 10 foundational mindsets personal growth and development platform that I created. You can get access to it at robcressy.com/transform. It's completely free. It's something that I am giving. It is the 10 most valuable mindsets that I have that I use with all of my coaching clients that can transform your mind, shift your perspective, and create a greater version of you. And it was her language and the way that she said that. I was like, boom, that is exactly what I am looking to accomplish in helping someone transform themselves into the best version of themselves. So when you go to that landing page today, you're actually going to see that at the very top. Shift your perspective into a great you. And then she said, level up with me. And boom, I already used level up in my copy there, but I loved it because it resonated with me. And the reason this resonated with me is because of the vision of where I was going on that ride. Personal best, boom. And then I'm going to yes and this to the other thing that I'm working on. So I'm part of a group coaching program where we are all working on creating and leveling up our perspectives, our mindsets, our way of being. And one of the things that I learned that was a new story that I am telling myself, I was going through some judgment in myself around showing up as a coach all of the time because I'm a creator and I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a coach. And even though I've been coaching myself for the last decade and I've coached clients and I do coach clients, there was an identity in me of always being a coach. And like, is there a right or a wrongness of it? And the perspective that got created was actually a declaration that said, I am loving coaching in everything that I do. So when I wake up in the morning and I read a personal development book for 30 minutes, and then I meditate and I journal and I create my being and do self-cultivation, I've done that for a decade, but there was a part of me that didn't, air quotes, give myself credit for what I was doing. I saw that as personal development, not as coaching. And it wasn't until someone was in conversation with me and it helped me create a new story for myself that said, Rob, everything you do in your life is coaching. Like literally you show up every single way as the best version for yourself, and you design this in your life. And a light bulb went off for me. I was harboring all this judgment on myself that I'm not showing up enough as a coach. And enoughness is something that is, I want no part of my being. And it is something that I've had to work through so much, because not enoughness is not the version of yourself that helps you be the best version of yourself. But how often are we living in not enough? I am not enough of something. And for a long time, I've been living in, I am not showing up enough as a coach, even though I can go to the grocery store and being in conversation with someone, and the second they start talking, boom, I go into coach mode and how I can help. But it was all these other areas in my life in which I would judge myself. My marketing coaching enough? Where, hey, am I doing this right? Am I doing this like a coach should? And there's another bad word, shouldn't enough. Man, those do not serve you whatsoever. And these are new stories that I'm telling myself, boom, shouldn't enough. That no longer belongs in me. And I am loving coaching in everything that I do, including this podcast in video right now, because I'm sharing my journey of how I'm coaching myself and creating a new story to tell myself. So as this relates to you, I ask, what are you doing intentionally to create a new story for yourself? What is the new story you are telling yourself? Or what is the story that you are telling yourself that is not serving you? What I want you to do is to identify this, write it down. One of the things that I don't know if good at is the word, but that I seek and move forward towards is the recognition of my own judgments and self-limiting beliefs. And when I notice something isn't serving me, it's like, hey, wait a second. What's this thing right now that keeps being a negative loop in my head or is not helping me get to where I want to go? Let me explore that a little bit more. So whether I'm going to do this with my own forgiveness practice where I identify it and then I forgive myself for it, and then I create a positive declaration that I say that is the best version of myself that lifts me up and helps me create the story of the best version of myself. I do it that way. And it's a practice that serves me so well. And I believe it is an uncommon practice because it took me decades to learn how to do this and to be self-aware enough to see judgment as an opportunity to create growth in yourself. But guess what? It is absolutely that blessing. And then the next part is being willing to be in conversation with someone who can help you see the story that you're telling yourself and being like, Rob, are you serious? Are you really telling yourself that you're not showing up as a coach every single day when literally your being is full of love and energy and coaching? Oh, wait a second. What? Yeah, boom. They said it to me and you almost like smile or you laugh and you're like, yeah, that's sort of dumb. And that's the other perspective. And one thing that I always love to offer is, if anything that I say right now resonates with you, if you want to shift into a perspective that creates a greater you, then I encourage you to schedule time to jump on a call with me where we can talk about your mindset, your personal growth and development, and what you want to do to create your vision and be that best version of yourself. Alternatively, the resource that I created is incredible. And the reason I know this is because it transformed myself over the course of 10 years. So go to robcressy.com/transform. All you got to do is put your name and email in there, and it'll give you access to 10 videos that are foundational mindsets for creating anything you want in your life. Because the way that you create a new story for yourself is by the way that you show up every single day. The perspective, the lens of how you see the world in what is coursing through your being. Because this is the absolute game changer. The majority of the world just shows up by default. They wake up, jump on their phone, open their computer, jump on their TV, boom. The world is now in charge of their entire perspective. Or you can create the story that says, hey, what are the 10 ways that I can think every single day that'll contribute to me constantly creating new stories for myself that align to what it is that I want to create in the world. And it is the most beautiful thing because whether I'm creating a podcast or jumping on a Peloton, I'm constantly creating myself. I'm constant creation of who I am, and I declare that every single day. And I think about the new perspectives and insights that I create for myself. So boom, there I am. It's the example of myself being I am loving coaching. And I realized coaching myself is loving coaching because then it allows me to show up and be a better coach for you and everyone that I work with. So that's what I got for today for best year ever and how you can create your best self. Think about what are the news stories you are telling yourself. And if you don't have any, I highly recommend you start by creating a new one. Think about what it is that you want to create and then what you need to declare or consistently take action on to be that person. And remember, go to robcressy.com/transform. I promise you this will absolutely be a game changer in your life. Sending tons of good vibes your way. Hope that you have yourself an absolutely amazing rest of the day.